Hi. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about insecurity. I think that a lot of people go about trying to solve their issues of confidence or insecurity in an ineffective way. They think that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and once they get that pot of gold, that they will then feel secure and happy and confident. And one of the only things that's worse than being insecure and not having confidence and not being happy is getting to the pot of gold and then realizing that what's in that pot of gold will not make you happy. Because at least before, you thought to yourself, I'm not happy or secure now, but once I get that thing over there, I'll be happy. Once you get that thing over there, then there's no more path. There's nothing else to pursue. So if that doesn't make me happy, and that's the thing I thought I needed to make me happy, that means that I will never be secure or happy. And I find people get themselves into this spiral, this terrible downward spiral, when they subscribe to what I would call the I with plan to security and happiness, which is I with something will then be secure and confident. That doesn't work. I with money. I with a cute girl on my arm. I with muscles in better shape. I with a prestigious job title. I with adoring fans. I with a high score in this video game, or I winning this basketball game. Like whatever it is, if you think that that's going to make you secure or confident, and when you do not feel secure or confident, then you are really screwing yourself. And if you think that you're insecure or unhappy now, wait until the crash comes when you actually get what you want. So I'm going to try to explain this through a series of, as usual, annoying and long personal stories. When I was younger, I had a lot of reasons to feel insecure. My parents didn't have a lot of money. My mother made sure to remind us that we didn't have a lot of money and that we probably would never make anything of ourselves or make anything resembling a real living. I was about 103 pounds when I was a senior in high school. So I was this height. There were lots of bullies in my school, and at least junior high school more so than high school. And I was about 70 pounds lighter than most of them. So you could imagine how that worked out. I wasn't very popular. I didn't have a lot of skills. And I remember when I graduated, I got myself my little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And I thought, once I get that, I will give myself permission to be confident and to be secure. So the first thing that I went for was being in shape, because I didn't realize that when you're older, the bullies that you meet are not the type of bullies that are going to push you. They're bullies like the type of bullies that are going to audit you. And muscles don't really help you against those bullies. But I digress. So I gained something about 55 pounds. I was able to bench press and squat 120, 130 pounds over my body weight. I'm like, yeah, finally. It was about 2 years in after I changed my diet. It's like, do I feel secure? No. Am I confident? No. I'm not confident. I'm not a confident, secure person. I'm just a schmuck that could squat more than I could 2 years ago. But still a schmuck. And I thought, all right. Well, I've only gotten a coin out of the pot of gold. There's still an entire pot of gold that I haven't gotten. I'm not going to feel secure with just a coin, right? Let's go and try to get the rest of it. Let's chase after the money. I remember the first year that I had made six figures. Six figures now is sadly becoming a middle-class living in New York, but back then, it actually meant something. I was so happy. I was so excited. I remember I just heard that voice from my parents, my mother in my head going, you're always going to be a loser like blah, like so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. I remember thinking to myself, I'm in my early 20s and I just made more in a year than you ever have in your entire life. And all right. I remember sitting in my apartment with my Vandersteen Model 3 speakers. I remember going to Broadway shows. I remember staying in that nice apartment, getting my acoustic panels put up, looking at my 25-foot ceilings, looking out the window at my nice view of the skyline and being able to see the Empire State Building and thinking, all right, am I confident? Am I secure? I can do the things with my business I want to. I can do the things with my life that I want to. I don't have to worry about rent next month. This is great. Am I confident? No. Now, I'm just a schmuck that can squat more than I could a few years ago, and a schmuck that has a few dollars more than I did a few years ago. But still a schmuck. Then I remember dating this model class woman, absolutely beautiful woman, and I didn't ask her out. She asked me out, and I thought, oh, wow, this is going to be great. And I remember going out on the second date. I remember going out to someplace in Midtown Manhattan. I think we were about to see one of my favorite Broadway shows. I got this beautiful woman on my arm and we're walking there. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, now, are you confident? Do you feel secure? Are you where you want to be? And I thought to myself, no. And it was at that moment that I really started to think, man, what the hell is wrong with you? You are standing in the middle of the street with the most beautiful woman, probably within a quarter mile of here. You're about to see your favorite show. If you didn't have to, you don't have to work for the next year, and you would have nothing to worry about in terms of rent and bills, and you're in the best shape of your life. Just 4 or 5 years ago, you would have never believed that you would be where you are now, and you're still not confident. And that was one of that was a really depressing moment for me, because I realized that there was no path. That was really depressing for me, because I noticed that there was no place else to go. There was no path that I could see. I saw a path, and I was like the little carrot dangled in front of me. So at the very least, even though I was hungry, I still knew that there was the carrot in front of me. But once I got the carrot and I ate it, and I was still hungry, now I'm really unhappy. How do I get to that secure place? How do I get that feeling of confidence? Well, let me talk about the first time that I ever felt what I would like to call true confidence. Let's just go back about 5 or 7 years ago. This was a long time ago. And this was a few months before I got kicked out of the studio space that I was using for my business at the time. Space in Midtown Manhattan is very expensive. You're looking at something like $6,000 to $20,000 a month. First, last, 6-month security deposit, construction, all sorts. Just thinking about it just makes me sick. So I was using the space in exchange for fixing their studio equipment there for free. I got kicked out of it. If you want to know the details of why I got kicked out, I got a video called the $30,000 Pocket Dial. It's not a great video. It's a long time ago, but it's a video I did at 1 a.m. called the $30,000 Pocket Dial, which details how I got kicked out of that space. Now, there was one of the maintenance guys for the building next door that I would always talk to every now and then when he came over. And one time he said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go up and check on this other guy's studio. He's having some problems with this, that, and the other." He wasn't really knowledgeable when it came to audio equipment, but he just liked to try to be helpful. He was a nice, helpful guy. And I asked what was going on, and I just decided to go up with him. I had nothing better to do. It was like 1 a.m. or something, and the trains were fucked up, so I was waiting on a ride to get home. So I go up and I want to help him out. And there was some stuff wrong, and I could tell that the place was kind of in disarray and falling apart. Sadly, it's not there anymore. A lot of the studios in that building are gone now. That entire building around 251 West 30th Street has just gone to, I'm pretty sure at this time next year it's going to be a bunch of spoiled brats condos. But I digress. I went up, and I could tell that the place was kind of in disarray. And, it didn't really have anything else to do anyway, so I just figured I'll fix it and not charge him. I fix everything that's wrong at the studio. I don't charge him. I tell everybody that's there. I'm used to working at studios, so I know how to talk to the clients. And without asking permission or anything, after I make everything work, I ask everybody what their setup is. I send them into the room. I apologize for the wait. They say thank you. And then I'm about to walk out, and the guy looks at me and he's like, "Hey, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that." And I had helped him out maybe 1 or 2 more times. I didn't think much of it. I went back to the studio, and now we're at a point where I'm about to get kicked out. Speaking of getting kicked out, wait till Jason realizes that I turned off the refrigerator and forgot to turn it back on before tomorrow. He's going to fucking kill me. But hopefully I edit that out so he never knows that I'm the one who keeps doing that. Anyway, I don't think it's a big deal. Now, I get kicked out of the space because of the reasons in the $30,000 Pocket Dial video, and I have no place to go. I have no place to go. I have no idea what to do. And then the maintenance guy says, "Hey, I got you a meeting with this guy next door. He's got this space. It's like $2,000 or $3,000 a month. It doesn't require construction. He doesn't require first, last deposit, all that shit. All he wants you to do is pay 1 month of rent. And that's it. Just go down and talk to him." And I go down and talk to the guy, and I tell him who I am. And he's like, "Oh, yeah." I forget the guy's name, the guy in the 9th floor at the studio. He's like, "Oh, yeah, he's told me about you. I have some stuff that I may need you to do as well." You want to come see the space? And I'm like, "Do you have any questions?" And he's like, No. You see, if he says you're good, then by all means, you got the space." And that was the first time that I had this feeling of real, true security and confidence. Security is safety. And you feel safe when you feel that there is a safety net that is provided by other people who you have helped. When you provide value to others, when you help other people out where other people would not have helped them, they are going to want to do the same for you. Because if I help somebody that nobody else would have helped, he's going to want to keep people like me around. And the best way to keep people that are like me around that would help him is by making sure that I have everything that I need. So there's this like community feeling. We are a very tribal species. We seek to help the people that help us. And that is what gives us a true sense of security. And then I realized that's because we know what insecure means. We know what the feeling is. But a lot of us don't know what it feels like to actually, what is the definition of being secure, of feeling secure, of living securely. The way you live securely is by providing so much value to so many other people that when there are bad things about to happen to you, that they jump to your rescue, they jump to your help, like that individual did. That entire situation may have never happened if I just didn't do a nice thing that one evening. Now, I'm not saying that I am like Mother Teresa just giving away everything for free. I'm not saying that that like everybody who comes to my door and says I can't pay for the thing. No. Just get the fuck out of here with that. But my point here is that when you provide value to other people, they will then make sure that you have a secure life. Opportunities will open for you that you didn't see, that just may not open for other people. Doors will open and you will do well. And once you feel secure, then you can feel confident. And this is not going to have to do with whether you lost 5 pounds. It's not going to have to do with whether you have a lot of money. It's not going to do with whether you have a perfect jawline. It's not going to be with whether you were able to beat somebody in a video game or in a sport or anything like that. It's just this down-to-earth thing, tribal part of our species where when you provide value to others, they will in exchange provide security to you. It's not about you with something, you with money, you with beautiful girl, you with cool job title, you with muscle. It's you. You have to be enough. So what value are you providing without the other crap? Again, it's not you in the nice car, it's not you and the hot girl, you. The only way to solve the problem of confidence and security is with you. Because as long as you think that the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is stuff, you're never going to be secure, because you plus stuff cannot make you feel secure. You plus something else, it's always the plus. It's they only like me because I have this other thing. They only like me because I did this other thing. It's not the value that you intrinsically provide as a person. So if you can find ways to provide value to other people in any way possible, this is the true path to security and confidence. And from that moment that I had that interview with that one studio owner that let me have that space, where he didn't even want to know what I did for a business. He didn't even want to see my finances. He said, yeah, just take the space. I knew what true confidence and true security was. And I've been trying to practice that ever since that day in my own life. And I realized that's the way it works. That is security. That is confidence. What I would suggest to you is find ways to provide value to others so that they will want to provide security to you. And you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be the best at anything to do this. I still remember there was this foundation in the town that I grew up in. I think it's called the Alzheimer's Foundation. What they did is they would take in objects from people's homes. They would take donations of not really money, but just of stuff that people didn't need anymore. They would clean it and fix it up, and they did this for free as volunteers. And then they would sell that stuff off to people in poorer neighborhoods who couldn't afford to buy new stuff. And all of that money would go towards Alzheimer's research and care for people with Alzheimer's that couldn't afford AIDS. And this was just a really, really nice thing to do. And there were people that did not feel very confident, that did not feel very great about their lives, that started working there and then started to feel this great sense of confidence and security in themselves. And the reason that I feel that they felt that is not because of how much money they had. It's not because because it improved their physical appearance. It's not because they got to brag to others that was what they did. It was because they knew when they went home every day that in some way, shape, or form, that they were providing value to others that would not have been provided if it wasn't for their existence. When you are providing a specific value to a specific individual that would not have been there if it wasn't for the fact that you were the one providing it, that gives you a special sense of confidence and security that you will never find with any other physical good, with any change in your physical appearance, with any car, with any girlfriend, with any boyfriend, with any whatever it is. Hopefully this video has been helpful, and as always, I hope you learned something.